Hello and welcome to Law and Order SVU here on FANVERSATION. Welcome back, everybody. I am Yael Tygiel. I am joined by Taylor Gates. Hello, Taylor.
Hello. Wow. It's been a second.
It has been a month, and it has been a whole month, and I'm very excited to be back. Felicia cannot be here at this time, but of course, our third co-host is Felicia Michelle.
Professionally said she could not be here at this time.
Because I realize sometimes when I say someone's not here, it sounds like they're dead, and I didn't want to say that.
Fair enough. I just loved it. She cannot be here.
She's not with us.
She's not with us on the show, but she is still with us on planet Earth, which we're so happy about.
And she's just not here right now. Anyway, not the point. We are talking season 23, episode 13. If I knew then what I know now. Before we jump into the storyline, as a reminder, if you have been assaulted or need help, please reach out to RAINN. Their number is 1-800-656-4673, 1-800-656-4673. If Felicia were here, she would tell us that it spells hope.
Oh, so you're going to take that from me today. Okay, yeah. It spells hope. It's my job to tell everyone that. And yet every week someone comes and steps on my moment. It's fine.
Yes. Also, another fun reminder, my chair makes noise and it sounds like farting apparently. And so
we're off to a great start today.
We're off to an amazing start. We haven't done this in a month. I don't remember how this works.
No, yeah, we're just going to vibe.
All right. Also, as a reminder, on this show, as you can tell, we say a lot of stupid stuff. And so consider this your content warning. I feel like I'm going to say something offensive and stick my foot in my mouth this week, as I do every week. So you've been warned.
Dun dun.
Yeah. One of these days, StreamYard is going to add the ability to let me put music sounds in, and I will hit a dun-dun button for us. Don't worry, that day is coming. We have people watching us live in the chat saying how happy they are. We're back. Zach says it feels good to be back. Thank you, Zach.
It sure does.
And Aaliyah says, hey, so good to be back. Agreed. I have missed this so much. Let's talk about, maybe I should get it out of the way before we get into this episode of SVU. As we all know,
I know exactly what's coming.
Law and Order has returned. The mothership is back. We also have Law and Order Organized Crime. And as a reminder, this is an SVU podcast. We focus on the Special Victims Unit. If SVU does not tie directly into, or our characters don't tie directly into organized crime, we will not be discussing what's happening there. And that very much goes for the mothership. I did watch the premiere. It's not my show. This is my show. I will not be keeping up with that show unless we have to. Organized crime I keep up with because I need to know how it connects to us, and it does not at this time. So I sit through it for you all so that you don't have to, but I will not be watching the mothership until I am told that we cross over. And yes, I know that they have some interesting characters and maybe they'll cross over with us. And when that time comes, we'll deal with it.
It's a win, not an if, but
yeah. I will not be watching that. We will not be breaking down those episodes. I will not point out that their premiere should have had SVU involved, but whatever. Yeah,
you're not going to point it out though.
No. Anyway, here's the quick cap for the episode that we are discussing today. A young woman asked Benson to help in finding her birth parents. That's incorrect. Carisi and Rollins weigh the risk of publicly disclosing their relationship. So do you want to start with the Raleigh stuff or the case stuff?
Let's start with Raleigh. Why not?
Okay. All right. How did you feel about this storyline?
It's fine. I mean, here's the thing. We knew that I've had differing opinions on Raleigh. I've been like, okay, I'm here for it. Okay, I'm not here for it. Here's the thing. It's now boring when it's not a secret relationship.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know. I get it. It's good that they did it, but I just am like, where's the pizzazz? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the drama of it? It's too domestic. I want it to be a little messy. And I just am not convinced. Like, I'm not convinced. I don't know. I didn't feel the spark this week. He's
That's so
Uncle
interesting.
Sonny. You know what I'm saying?
No, what'd you say? Sorry.
He's Uncle Sonny, but he doesn't want to be Uncle Sonny forever. I don't know. It's fine. I'm not super here for it, but I'm not super anti against it. It's simply a part of the show that I watched this week.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a really interesting moment when Rollins says, this is like, she says, she's never been this open and honest in a relationship before. And it is very much the healthiest relationship she's ever been in. I do appreciate that we've gotten a time note, like it's been 9 months. I think as much as she has 2 children, I think that Carisi is ready to like settle down and start a family, and she is not.
Yeah.
This woman who has 2 offspring already. So like I think that's kind of interesting. I think he's being very pushy, in my opinion, to like to go public, to solidify, he's having the where are we conversation. And I think that of all people, you should know that like she needs baby steps. And yeah, I think that's kind of interesting, but I'm with you. Like, it's not exciting. It's not,
yeah, because like their little thing at the wedding, I was like, ooh, this is like a little kind of fun, kind of juicy. And now it's like, okay, they're just making dinner and the kids are asking, like, that's not the drama I came for. Like,
yeah, you want the like sneaking around,
yeah,
not the we're in love.
It's not messy anymore. Which, like, I mean, good for her character. Like, I love that for her, but I don't love it for me to watch it. You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying, but I will say, I think that like when she tells Benson and then she goes to Carisi and she's like, I think she knew. No shit, she knew.
Yeah,
you guys didn't try to hide it. You didn't try to hide it at all.
No. Yeah, I did like that because I just like Olivia and Rollins interacting always, and so I thought that was funny. She's like, "What are you trying to tell me? Just say it, like just out with it." And she does. She's like, "Okay, happy for you." Like, she just didn't care, which I did like that aspect.
She said, "I'm very happy for you," and all I wanted her to say was no shit. Like, I know we're on NBC, but all I wanted her to say was no shit.
No shit. Yeah, so true.
You 2 are together? Oh, didn't see that coming.
Right.
I'm not captain of the team. I wasn't a detective for many years.
Yeah. No joke. Yeah, they're together.
People in the chat are talking. Jennifer says, oh, hold on. Jennifer says, Releasing is inconsequential to the show. It's fine, but unnecessary.
I kind of
and Aaliyah points out, ever since Kelly said kissing him is like kissing her brother, I can't stop thinking about when I see it on the screen.
Not this. Well, here's the thing. We have Khaldun back like every so often. And I'm still like, that is niche. Like, that is more, that's spicy to me. I don't know. I can see.
That's a really good point. I really would love to see, not that I'm trying to write the show, but I would love to see like her and Khaldun, have chemistry and have something, and her to have to like tell Carisi, I'm having this feeling, and him be like, you are the person who, like, we're getting serious and it freaks you out, and so now you're trying to like sabotage it, because that feels on brand.
Yeah.
And like where her character would go.
Oh my gosh, but do I want another love triangle? Like, I don't know. Not really.
Yes,
like, I'm kind of sick of them. Because I don't know. And at the same time, I feel like everyone can just like ship her with anyone. Like, I feel like, what's his name? Literally, what is the guy's name who's on the team now? But it's
Velasco.
I always want to say Vasquez, but it's not Vasquez. I'm like, it starts with a V. But like, I feel like there was stuff, I don't know, maybe she just has chemistry with everyone, but like, I feel like she has the least amount of chemistry with Carisi. So it's like very hard for me to be like, yeah, because it is like, it's just a healthy, supportive relationship, but it's not like that, like chili pepper, like that I want out of a
Yeah,
ship.
you don't want a healthy relationship.
I
You
want it
want
to be
something
great.
to entertain you.
Yeah, that's why I watch television. Hello.
I mean, but I'll say, I think if I kind of would like, if we're going to do a healthy relationship, then I want to see the like challenges of that, which involve her two other baby daddies. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
if
totally.
we're going to do this, the fact that we're finding out that her kid doesn't know who her father is, that's interesting, right? Because
Yeah.
Dr. Al proposed. Like, it wasn't a one night
Oh,
stand.
Dr.
He
Al.
wanted
I
to
guess I
marry her.
should be grateful that it's just not Dr. Al anymore. Thank God.
Yes.
Anyone but Dr. Al. So honestly, yeah, I take that back. I ship it so hard just simply because I don't have to see Dr. Al anymore.
I just would like to see, look, you want messy. Rollins' life, not a love triangle, right? She's dating Carisi. She also has two baby daddies
Some
with Murphy, Captain Murphy, and Dr. Al. I want to see that whole family together. I want to see that interaction.
feel that in my soul. I like that.
Thanks. Speaking of messy, big families, let's talk about the episode of the week. What did you think about this storyline? What did you think?
I actually quite liked it. I was like a little skeptical at first. I was like, what is like going on? Like I was worried that here's the thing, like I thought this was gonna go so many different directions. Like she said that what's her name? What's the kid's name? Ashley
Ashley.
was like, she's so eager. I'm like, is she like fabricating something? Because she's just a little much for me. So I don't know. I was worried that it was like gonna be like that. I was worried that Michelle was like gonna be like shady for some reason. But I'm glad that it wasn't like that. Like I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was a solid episode, a solid case.
Yeah, I agree. This was, I think, fascinating. Like,
Yeah.
there weren't a bunch of twists and turns. It wasn't surprising and wacky and unexpected, which I know you love, but it was still so like as it was happening, as I'm watching it the first time on Thursday night, I was like, ooh, that's an interesting question. Ooh, what an interesting discussion to be having. Like
Yeah.
this girl finally gets to meet her biological mother and then finds out this situation. I will say the whole storyline where we ended up, how we ended up where we ended up, I was like, wait, the girl was 15. Like, she was 15. That's statutory rape regardless. Like,
Right. Yeah,
regardless of any of this.
that's
She
very
was a
true.
kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I really thought it was going to be the older brother because I was just like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, about this guy is shady AF. Like, I don't know. The whole family was just because they were super rich and like I was like, they're covering something up for someone. But I think it all like tracked. Like it all made sense in my mind. Like I like how we got there. I like how we did a cognitive reenactment. Like I always love it when we do that. And I like how it had like a bit of a happy ending. Like I thought it was really sweet how it wasn't like I don't know, no one was trying to like they were on the same side, which was like nice to see like both like her birth parents or both her like birth mother and like her adoptive parents like really rallying around like each other for Ashley's sake. I thought that was sweet.
I agree with you. I think that her adoptive parents are like, we know she's much. We know she's a lot. Like
She's so extra.
this girl, I was like,
one of my favorite lines with you later.
yes, I'm so excited. I was like, this girl's a lot. I can't, I'm so glad I don't have children. My child would be this much.
Well, that's the thing because she was going. What is she going to school for? Like social something. So I was like, is she literally making this shit up so she can like get a college, like write a college essay? Like genuinely, that went through my mind. Which honestly would be a great case. You guys are free to use that. I was like, is she a criminal mastermind? Like I really don't know. There's something off about her. No, she was just really excited about everything, I guess. But I really was like, there's something up. There's something not right. Like
You're totally right. I really like this kid because she was so like she just wanted to help. She just wanted to help. And I love that like she went to the police on her biological mother's behalf. She was like, I'm coming to report this. I want to do this next step. And then when she eventually confronted him, and my favorite part was, and this is I think the only line I wrote down, is you're my birth mother's rapist. Like, you have to admit that that's who you are. That's how this relationship is. That's who you are to me.
I say, I also, what I actually thought for sure was going to happen that didn't end up happening. At that meeting, I thought we were going to get like a sugar situation where she like pulls out scissors and stabs this man. Like, I really thought, I was like, she's going to kill him at this meeting. I was so certain, and it didn't happen. But in my mind, I was like, she is taking out a knife and she is going to stab this man in the throat. Like, I just really thought it would happen, and it didn't. Like, I'm like kind of glad I didn't veer into that territory, though I do think it would have been fun. But I was so sure, and it didn't come. It never happened.
I went the opposite way in that scene when she was meeting him. I thought that she was gonna just switch sides. Like, I thought this girl was just so like, believe whoever is in front of her in that moment.
That's so funny.
We thought we went different directions for sure. I thought she was going to be like, oh, like you guys, it was just a one night stand. Like, oh, and I thought that she was just going to switch. But I love that she stood her ground and was this strong woman, especially because of this, like, I mean, this arc that we've seen her on, learning that her mother was raped, then learning that it may have been, what was his name? Josh. Then learning that it wasn't Josh. Like, I really she went, this girl
does everyone went through Michelle and Josh?
Oh my God. It was so funny how hard she ships them.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I feel like she's rubbing off on me. Like, I kind of ship it now. But it feels like a good guy. Like, he was just high and they were just kissing, fooling around.
Let's talk about what happened.
Give me the spinoff. No, because I have some quotes written down from that too.
He was like, am I the father?
Am I the villain? Am I the trauma?
Do you know how babies are made?
No, I was like, sir, you literally need to go back to learn birds and the bees, because
what he described is not how a baby is made.
It's not. That's why I was kind of confused. I was like, so did they have sex or no? He just
it was the first time he'd ever kissed a girl.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming in his pants.
That's like genuinely so powerful for her.
I love the way he was like, can I say that I came?
Can I say that? I kind of came. Can I say that? That's the quote I have written down because it's fantastic. Here's the thing. This episode didn't have a lot of quotes in the first like 20 minutes. I was like, oh no, like I'm not going to have any. And then it really picked up and so many at the end.
Yeah, I was like, I don't have any quotes. I don't have many notes because I was just so fascinated by this story and like it was so interesting.
Let's talk about the line in the ceiling.
The line in the ceiling. You want one, don't you?
Who wants to wake up to that? Not me. Certainly not I.
What's so funny is when she walks into the room, she says like there was a lion. I was like, what does that mean? What are you talking about? And then when she turned around and looked, I went, oh, it was such a weird way to like bring up the lion.
But like, I mean, I would certainly remember that too. Like, who has that? Like, rich people are so weird. I just don't understand like the taste. But you do you. I'm not the one who spent their summer in Southampton. Okay.
My question is, and this is just the me of it.
Sure.
The lion.
Yeah.
Is that in this home, or is that something they wrote in the script and then had to put into this home?
I hope to God it's something they had to put in.
And then it wasn't something that was just there.
I feel like they would have built the set. Like,
that's the thing though, is sometimes they use homes.
Sure. It's so specific. I feel like the set designer was like, God damn it. Like, you really this is what I have to work on this week.
I want to believe that it was the writer was in someone's home. It was like, what the hell is that? I have to put this into a script.
I love both. Honestly, if you work on SVU, I'm begging you to answer this question in the comment because we're dying to know.
I'm so glad you were as fascinated as I am with this
Plus,
stupid line.
who wants that on their ceiling?
Um, I want to talk about. I saw a lot of people tweeting about Ms. Maxwell,
Yeah.
Carisi's boss, played by Betty Buckley. We got to give a whole bunch of actor shout outs on this episode. And I'm sorry, I've been lacking. All right. Betty Buckley was playing Lorraine Maxwell, and we've seen her on many episodes. Previously, she was Attorney Walsh back in the early 2000s, and now she is Lorraine Maxwell. I'm being told she is a Broadway legend. Thank you, Jennifer, for coming in with the facts. This scene where she tells us about what happened to her reminded me of, I think Donnelly also told us a story about something that happened to her. And then there was the judge. There was a judge in an episode that had something to do with abortions. Nope, not abortions. It was another one. We've had a few of these.
It reminded me, and I can't remember like the specifics, but I'm like 99% sure it happened, unless I'm fabricating in my head. But when there's like things on college campuses that happen, and the dean is like an older woman who's like been through some shit. I feel like we've had that like disclosures like that before too. It kind of like gave me those sort of vibes, which I don't know. I like really liked that because she said like she's never told anyone until right now. So it's, I mean, that's like got to be like scary, but also like kind of cathartic in a way. So I thought it was great that they included that, like, and gave her that sort of moment, just to show like how it can affect you like so many years later, like showing her and also Michelle. Like I think that was like a theme of this, definitely.
Yes. Let's talk about Michelle for a second, because Michelle was played by Lisa Joyce. Taylor, tell us about Lisa Joyce.
Guys, I started watching this and I was like, is this the girl that had the baby in the cooler? I'm like season 13 or something. And I looked it up and it was, because I remember she was really good in that episode too. And she was fantastic in this episode. But I was like, that's why I was so like worried she was going to be shady, because she was pretty shady in that other episode. I was like, there's just, I don't know, the vibes. But I really liked how she got to play like a different role on this one. But she's great. I see why they bring her back every so often, because I thought she did such a good job.
She was really great. I also want to give a shout out to Gates Leonard, who played Ashley. And this is one of her
roles.
Yes. This is in fact her third role.
Yeah, which is, well, I mean, that's still really early.
Ever. Like, that's amazing.
So early in her career.
And we all know what happens when you do SVU. So this girl's career is
so true.
On the way up.
So true.
And then I also want to give a shout out to Joe Cornett, who played Cole Eaton. Because he was gross and creepy, and he did great.
I was like, yeah, you're a hedge fund manager.
Yeah, you.
That's for sure.
You assaulted a girl and thought that you were catnip to women.
Stop. His lines, I was just like, how? But the sick part is people talk like that, and I know that's to be true. Like, I can actually see people saying this. So he really nailed rich New York douchebag. Really nailed it.
Really did great. There was another moment that I was like, oh, Taylor's gonna love this. And it's Michelle's mother.
Oh, she's awesome. I love her.
I love when Khaldun asks why she came, and Benson says, so if anyone asks, you can say she supported her daughter.
She sucked.
Oof. And then of course this ties into Benson and her life. I really appreciate how much we learn about, like, we know that Benson is the product of rape, like that is fact from episode 1. But we only find out tiny bits and pieces about that. It's been 23 years and we know very little about it. So to find out that she really only found out at age 13 is interesting. The way she found out was interesting. And that she had wished that her mother hadn't told her, but can see that it has informed her whole life.
Yeah, I'm really glad they brought that up in this episode because that's the first thing I thought of when Ashley was seeing Michelle. I was like, oh, like Benson has such a personal connection to that. I'm glad they didn't just gloss over it.
Yeah. And we've asked here a bunch of times about talking to Noah about his situation as well.
Yeah.
Like, when do we get to that?
I mean, no, I can't make a dog cage joke.
Girl.
No.
I'll say this. I'm changing the subject a little. I think, I mean, it's hard for me to understand as someone who I know both of my parents, and I know that they are my biological parents. And so it's hard for me to understand this concept of not knowing who a parent is and then not being told who a parent is. So like when, we have the Releasey situation where Billy wants to know if Carisi's her dad, like it's hard for me to understand what that looks like.
Yeah.
Growing up not knowing, you know what I mean? Like at least something.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I hope we do dig deeper into that and don't just, because they kind of brushed it off, not to go back to that whole situation. They're like, oh, it's fine. She's just like pushing boundaries. I don't need to bring it up unless she does. I don't know. I think maybe you should start thinking about and talk about that,
Right. That's what I'm saying is at what age, if a parent is not in the house or involved, at what age do you tell the child, like, there is a parent, they are not involved or around?
Yeah. I don't know.
Especially because, like, if you're in daycare, if you're in somewhere with other children, a lot of, draw your family.
Totally.
It's going to come up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a good question. That was kind of a theme of this episode. I didn't really realize, but they really tied it all together.
Of course. I do appreciate that we had Khaldun while Velasco was away, and I feel like we should do more of that.
That way, yeah. No
Let's
hate to Velasco, but where have you even been, homie? Like, he hasn't even been around. Like, is he actually on this team? I don't know.
He's in the opening credits.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on to your segment, Best Lines.
My segment, yeah. Okay. So I'm front and center now. I like how Amanda just delivered this so snarky. You want me to just close this relationship to NYPD or just Jesse and Billy? I was like, whoa, that was so savage. I love it when they just randomly put in like songs for no reason. It's happened a couple of times. There were people singing that song, Crazy in Love, I think.
They were trying to tell you what year it was.
That's true. But it just always feels very like weird and out of place to me.
Yeah.
But I will say I watched this episode yesterday morning and I Zoomed some of my friends yesterday and I kept singing that to the point that they muted me on Zoom. So thanks a lot, SVU, for putting my friendships on thin ice.
You cannot blame them for your decision.
No, I'm going to blame them. Summer? No, I would have been in Southampton. Just like, it's the richest thing I've ever heard. I love when they're trying to get her to like admit what happened. Like, their only time she ever did drugs was at a summer house. Like, I love how they're like baiting her with like, well, I heard that she did drugs at your house, so that's why you need to talk to us. Ashley Peters is here. She's kind of hyper. I love that. I was an intern on Wall Street. I must have slept with a dozen women that summer. Shut up, sir. Back then I was catnip, enthusiastic consent all summer long. This one I actually loved. It's not true. I can't say it yet, but hopefully someday I will be able to. I have a lot more money than time. It's like, okay, kind of deserve. Why even lie? And then I just loved, this wasn't really a quote, but just the fact that Miss Maxwell called it a jolly up. I love that. I think we should start using that again. A jolly up. She was invited to a jolly. So yeah, those are my best quotes. The fact that most of them are from the villain, that's a little bit, I don't know what that says, but
I have a big note in my notes, and I guess it's a quote. She referred to it as a vintage Polaroid.
Yes. Yes.
I'm so offended. A vintage Polaroid.
Yeah.
Vintage?
I also love
Polaroid's vintage?
I get they need it for time and like to move it along, but like how convenient is that she just knows exactly where that is, can just whip it out at a second's notice.
Yeah. There was another line when Michelle is like, I can't believe she doesn't remember that night, and Benson was like, nothing happened to her that night. Like, yeah, of course she doesn't remember it. This was just a night to her.
What was her name too? She had such a strange name.
The friend.
Yeah. Mavis. I was like, okay. I like it, but I was just like, I also like thought she was gonna be more involved, and she simply wasn't. She zoomed for like 3 seconds, and then she's like, "Yeah, I'll testify." Girl, about what? You don't remember shit. Like,
right?
Okay.
Way to downplay your friendship.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I would not be her a friend.
I'm trying to wrap my head around the idea of a 15-year-old getting pregnant and no one being like, you're a teenager.
Right.
Was this consensual? Because it probably wasn't. You're a teenager. And like her friend and whatever. I don't know. I'm not rich. I don't know rich people lives.
I have a lot more money than time.
Yeah.
Jennifer says everyone's gonna be like, you don't actually. You have much more time. Yeah, it does.
Mavis feels like a very 1950s name. I mean, it does feel like a people who summer in the Hamptons. That's how they name their kids.
No, I was in Southampton.
All right.
I was born to be rich with the way I'm delivering this, so I don't know why the universe decided to make me not a wealthy woman in New York City, but that's fine.
I mean, you chose to live on the other coast.
I didn't choose not to be rich, though.
That's true, but you're in the wrong. Maybe if you had chosen to go to New York.
You're right, actually. Oh man, that's on me. That's my bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't check if this was ripped from a headline or anything. I had some news that I was supposed to share, and now I can't remember what it was. I think it was about the original, the mothership, which again we will not be covering. All right. We have no new reviews on iTunes, which makes me sad, but we were also gone for a month. So we're back. Every time there's a new episode, there'll be a new us. So keep an eye on that. But shall we move it along to the weekly poll?
Yeah, we should. So, like a lot of weeks ago, we talked about Tommy Baker's hardest fight, which was so good. I forgot about that episode.
So good.
What a classic. What an instant classic. And so we asked what your favorite boxer/fighter episode was. The was other, because no one commented other, which is fine. In third place, Redemption in Her Corner, which was season 21, episode 13. That was a very cat-centric episode, so looking at you guys a little suspiciously, because Cat was great.
Well,
yeah, the episode itself, but Cat, Cat though.
Yeah.
In second place, we have Intent, which is season 19, episode 8. That's Yael's favorite episode. That's the double catfish.
Oh, it's the best.
Good episode. And then Tommy Baker's hardest fight was in first place with 64.3% of the vote. I love that. It's very rare that a new episode wins, so good for you, Tommy Baker.
That's a good poll.
Yeah, thank you. Came up with it with myself. This week, we're asking everyone, because Lisa Joyce is a repeat offender. Like I said, she was on Missing Pieces, but she was also on Avatar, Turn Up the Sun, baby. She's been in some great ones. So we have Avatar. There's only 3 options, though, this week. Avatar, season 9, episode 2. Missing Pieces, season 13, episode 5. And then If I Knew Then What I Know Now, which is season 23, episode 13. So, yeah, we'll tell you where to find that. I don't even know what I'd pick, because I thought they were all pretty good.
I feel like I need to rewatch the other two to remind myself of who she was and what those were about. I wonder, do people, when we put up a poll, does anyone ever watch the episodes we are putting in the poll?
Or they just simply remember their faves. I do have to
They're
say,
like, no, I like this one. I'll vote for that.
my friend is binging the entire series and texting me through all of it, which has been a lot of fun. Shout out to you, Sav. You're really entertaining me. He's at season 12 now. He just watched the Joan Cusack, Bailey Madison episode.
Oh, loco.
My favorites, They Put Something Inside Me, ahead of its time, really and truly. God, I'm like reliving it because those are like my favorite seasons. It's like 11, 13, 14. So now that he's there, I'm like, yes, like I'm so excited. His favorite is he misses Alex Cabot a lot. Just fair enough. But I'm like, you'll love Barba. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, no, you'll love Barba.
Oh, you will.
Yeah. So
I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm reliving all of the moments because the first episodes I ever watched, I think, was the one with like the Sharon Stone, Isabel Huppert like one where she's like the boy's like dead and she's like holding everyone hostage and to that one and I was like, wow, I feel transported back to like 7th grade right now. It was special. It's really special.
That's so good. That's great. I'm so excited for your friend. Should I do a rewatch from season 1?
Probably should.
I won't sleep. I'll just stay up.
I fell asleep too.
And then quote it.
Which ones did I watch yesterday? Oh, Girl Dishonored is what I fell asleep to last night. That one's a mess up.
Oh, so good. All right. Next, it's time for What Did We Learn? What you got?
I didn't do my due diligence before this one. I think I learned that Billy doesn't know who her dad is.
Yeah, that's true.
I did learn that. And I also learned that Ashley's a little hyper, and I learned that he's got more money than time.
You learned that your goal in life is to have more money than time.
Yeah, yes. Actually, 100% yes.
I learned that Polaroids are vintage. I learned that Benson only found out about her mom at age 13. Mm-hmm. I think Billy not knowing who her dad is something we've definitely learned.
I learned that rich people have lions on their ceilings.
Apparently that's a thing. I learned that Carisi, he's gotten less fun.
That's so true. Maybe that's what's bothering me. Although here's the thing, not a spoiler because it was in like a press release. They're gonna meet his fam soon.
Yeah.
So that could be actually very fun and dramatic. So honestly, I take it back. Like I'm not really looking forward to that because his family is gonna be chaotic in a different way than Amanda is chaotic. And I'm actually very excited to see those worlds collide.
I mean, you know what? It actually makes sense narratively because we do know that that's where we're headed. That she was like, you don't want me to meet your parents. He's like, I don't want my mom. You don't want to meet my mom as my girlfriend. And I'm not going to bring a colleague home for Sunday dinner. And I think that that's great. So we are like close to meeting.
Yeah.
With the family now.
It's going to be delicious. I love big family drama like that.
Shock.
Who, me?
You, amazing. All right. So before we wrap things up, I'm trying to think what announcements we have. For those who don't know, you can buy some really great Be True to Yourself Noah Benson merch on our merch site. And of course, you can still get a Slim and Pair of Jeans onesie and Justice for Stonewall.
Yeah. Should we make one that says I've got more money than time?
Maybe. I'll add it to our list of things we considered making.
Because it's such a flex to say something like that. What was last week what I kept saying? It doesn't look good, someone, but I forget what the name was. Well, it doesn't look good. And it was like someone's name. Actually, hold on. Maybe I have that in my notes.
The notes that I have of ones that we wanted to make into merch that I have not yet made, because I don't know that it works so well without knowing the context, is people who make mummies don't cry and say I'm sorry.
Yes, I remember.
And when God gives you a uterus, maybe then we'll listen to your sermon. I love that one. And now I've got more money than time. What is yours?
It's Chrissy. Well, it doesn't look good, Chrissy.
That's right.
I love that. I was like, I know it doesn't look good, but what was the name? Chrissy. Well,
maybe what we need is a counselor. It's Chinatown.
Counselor, it's Chinatown.
Yeah.
God, there's so many. Imagine trying to explain these like to someone who doesn't watch this.
But that's why I'm being a little more cautious on which ones we are releasing.
That's fair, but I kind of love it. It's like a little club that like 0.1% of the population would like get, like if they saw it on the street.
I don't think even I would get it if I saw it on the street.
Right. Well, you don't talk down to yourself. You probably would. You know a lot of SVU.
That's true. That's
Counselor, true. It's Chinatown.
I'd be like, I have a question about your shirt.
Hi, what?
All right. So next week, based on the promo, not a spoiler, but it looks like Rollins might be going undercover, which we love.
Yeah,
so
you're
very excited about that.
You're one of the good guys.
Yeah, but I think that's all we have. Let me give some shout outs to people here live. Jennifer is here and Zach is here. Jasmine is here. Thanks for being here. Aaliyah is here. We love having people live in our chat. It makes us so happy. We would love to hear your favorite lines and what you learned always.
Please.
Especially because it'll remind us what we've learned. Are there any things I need to say before we wrap things up? No? Please rate and review us. If you like us, you can give us 5 stars. If you don't like us, you can give us 4 stars. The other buttons are still broken. I don't know. Yeah, but if you give us 4 stars, you have to tell us what we are doing wrong. What are we doing wrong? What's wrong?
What's wrong with us?
Yeah. Fingers crossed by the end of the season, we get a whole story about BDSM,
Oh gosh, you want that so badly.
I just
25 acts not enough for you.
What?
25 acts? That's like, isn't that Barbara's first episode?
Yes. Oh god, I love that episode so much.
A good one. When he takes the belt in the courtroom and everyone's like, whoa!
Yeah.
So good.
Ugh.
Classic.
Now I want to go rewatch that.
Yeah, me too.
Until next time, you can find Felicia on Instagram at It's Felicia Michelle and on Twitter at It's Felicia on Air, but she doesn't really use Twitter, so follow her on Instagram. Until then, where can everyone find you and the poll?
You guys can find me in the poll on Twitter at Alphaba_, and you can also find me on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_.
Awesome. I am everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That is YAELTYGIEL. I think I have something to promote. I don't know. Find me on the socials and I'll tell you what there is to check out. Nice. Actually, on this channel specifically, I just did a brand new trivia interview show called Quizzes Your Life. And our first guest was Rizwan Manji from Peacemaker and Schitt's Creek and a bunch of other stuff. So watch him play trivia about his own career. He did not do great at that, but check it out. It's very funny. Yeah, and let us know if you would watch more of that in the comments. And we have more interviews and stuff coming up. There's a lot happening on this channel, so subscribe so you don't miss it. Okay, that's it. Bye, everybody.